Hi, my name is Justin DeRoy.
And my name is Jesus Ramirez.
Alright, and you are listening to Just Two Guys Talk Movie. Alright, welcome back for yet another episode. Go and get right into things, and I'll go ahead and start off today. So, recent movie news, the studios that are in production for the next Fast and Furious film have released some news about how they're going to try to finish up the scenes with Paul Walker, and they've apparently decided that they're going to do the scenes with 4 different body doubles that match his body size and physique, and then try to do his face, I guess, with CGI overlapping them, and also, I guess, somehow use that to do his voice. Um, I'm not really thinking this sounds like super great so far. I'm hoping it's gonna be very minimal. They're not gonna try to do anything really too, I don't know, extravagant with this technique. I'm just hoping it's just maybe some wide shots that doesn't have to like really close up on them, because my biggest concern with mostly the CGI face is that we're gonna see something really similar to what they did in Tron Legacy with Jeff Bridges. His alter character that was like the evil version of him that was an all CGI face, and I just thought that looked awful. I'm hoping that they're not going to do anything like quite like that. Just something very minimal, just something just they can have him kind of in a shot, but it doesn't have to like have very close up, maybe just like far away action shots. I don't know, another alternative maybe they could use. I've seen them use this on the last Terminator film, is that they actually created like a mask for their stuntmen to wear that actually was very lifelike, and like a kind of, I've seen the movie and I can't like pick out scenes where they might have even done it. So I don't know, they used that pretty seamlessly. So maybe if they try to also work something like that in, like just so like, huh?
What movie was that?
That was the Terminator Salvation with the Terminator guy. I can't think of his name, but yeah, the guy who was whatever the
Avatar guy, you mean?
huh?
The Avatar guy, you mean?
Yeah, the guy was in Avatar. Or that's how they used for his action scenes, where they had subbed in a actual stuntman. Is that they just used a mask. That's I actually even saw the mask once on a television show. Oh, that the someone had like found the mask and they're actually trying to buy it, but like I said, at least in scenes that where they used it, I couldn't tell when they used it. So like maybe they can also try to work something like that. I'm looking for something that looks seamless, and you're not going to really obviously know that it's the scenes that they had to sub in with the CGI and like a different character. Because I don't want my last images, of Paul Walker in his final movie ever of being a CGI character. But yeah. Anyway, that's my thoughts on the whole thing. Anything you want to add, Jesus?
Uh, yeah, this is kind of like a tricky subject. It'd be nice to see his last movie completed with, with all of his image there. But if they didn't get the chance to do that, and there is no other way to go around it, because they still had to shoot some scenes that involved his face and him speaking. I don't know. It's not like, the thing with me is like, I feel like this is like the 7th installment of a series. How difficult can it be to incorporate a change like that in the script? I feel, it's not like someone's Godfather piece. I'm not trashing the film, but it's like it's the seventh sequel. I feel like they should be able to get around it, and find a way to not go that route of having to CGI Paul Walker pretty much. But I don't know. If they do that, I hope that they gather like the best technology that they can get, because I think that anything. I like Tron Legacy, but I think that they weren't ready. I felt like they should have waited if they wanted, with the idea that they had in mind. I think it was neat, but I think that it didn't quite work because again, the special effects they weren't ready for that. So it didn't work, and it affected the movie a lot. And I feel like even though this movie is not about that doesn't it's not like Tron that it was it's a lot it has a lot of visual effects, but it's not like it's not like it's secondary most important thing. You know what I mean? But that being said, I hope I made sense. I feel like out of respect for Paul Walker, if they are gonna do that, then the least they can do is hire people who work for Cameron or Cuarón or somebody, so they can make the most realistic, the most real looking Paul Walker they can come up with, and that is something that's obviously far way and beyond from what we've seen in Tron and other movies like Curious Case of Benjamin Button. So that's all I gotta say.
Anyway, well, that's enough of that topic. So we'll go ahead and move on and let you do your topic for today.
Well, I guess we're gonna stick with the technology subject or theme. I guess very recently, Christopher Nolan, director of the Dark Knight trilogy and Inception, was in Las Vegas to pretty much show off his newest sci-fi movie that that comes out later in this year. And pretty much, I guess it was a convention. He talked to theater owners at CinemaCon, and pretty much he was there to talk mainly to the theater owners, because I guess he's looking for theaters to make sure that they exhibit his film the right way. And I'm quoting from what he said. He said, "We shot quite a lot of it on film. We shot quite a lot of the film in IMAX, more than we had ever done in the past. There will be some really beautiful IMAX film prints that will be certain key locations. And we are really maximizing the various technical capabilities out there, particularly in the sound mix. We have very ambitious plans in how we are going to take a very big approach as to how we maximize the potential of the existing sound system in theaters. Using existing equipment, you don't have to buy anything new. Really, what we are attempting to do is give audiences a better experience and immersive experience. We are looking to theater owners to really transport us and give us the best they can and how we can get that out to the public. As they say, the projectionist has the final cut. I really think on this film, the technical aspect of how this film is presented is really going to be more important than any film I've done before. So that means getting into partnership with the studios and theaters." I guess what that means is that he's really. I kind of appreciate that about him. I like that he's actually taking that extra step of trying, crossing that bridge over to movie theaters, to executives, people who own theaters, so they can make sure that his film, obviously, something that he's very passionate about, is presented the best way possible. And coming from experience, I've had one short film, shown on a movie theater. It's kind of like you get paranoid. You want to make sure that your film is shown the right way, because otherwise, all that work that you put into it will kind of be, it's like thrown out the window. it's kind of why I kind of don't like going to those to like those those theaters where they show movies that have been out for a long time.
Yeah, cheap theaters.
The prints that they get are movies that are actually like overused, and the sound is bad and the image is bad. So I mean, I feel like it's still kind of amusing in a way, but that's not how I want to see a movie for the first time, for sure, to have the best experience. And I don't know. I mean, I think I don't know what other people have been saying about this, but I think that it's kind of nice and cool that he's taking that extra step to ensure that the film is presented, the right way to us. 'Cause that's what I want. I mean, to be honest with you, like, I fell in love with IMAX thanks to this guy in particularly. And I feel like every movie should be seen in IMAX. Of course, not every movie, will be shot in IMAX, but I feel like that is the best, that is the best way to see a movie. Anyway, what do you think about this? Sorry.
Honestly, well, first I gotta say, I love his movies. I've seen, like, I don't know, the majority of them. I know there's still, like, a few of them out there I haven't seen, and I haven't yet found one that I don't like, but this sounds to me that he's a bit full of himself. Because it sounds like to me he's going to say that if the theaters who are showing this aren't, like, showing it the right way, and people don't like it, it's their fault. It's not my fault. They messed up because the projection wrong and the sound didn't sound right in their theater. And I think that's a little ridiculous of him to go out there and say something like that. Because, if they don't have the right technology, because he shot it in the IMAX, but, there's not a lot of theaters in, like, most cities that do IMAX. And, like, here in Phoenix alone, like, in driving distance, there's, like, 2 that I can think of. And, not all theaters are going to have the IMAX technology and so like that in their theater. And I think really would have been just fine if maybe they can convert it to fit on a regular screen and work fine with that. So I don't know what the problem is with him trying to seem like, hey, he's just trying to put the blame on, if something goes wrong, it wasn't really my fault. It's the theater who didn't take my warning of making sure you show it in the best way possible, is what it sounds like.
Yeah, well, I see your point. I don't think he didn't say it in those words exactly, but it can come out, it can come across like that. I feel though that I don't know. I see it. I see the positive side of this as, because I feel like he's been one of the very few directors now who's actually been more involved in how his films are actually are screened. A lot of people just make movies, and a lot of directors now, they make movies, and of course, all they care is about the story, the acting, and the writing, and so on. But I don't feel like they pay much attention to how the movie itself, the exhibition of the film itself. I feel like because Nolan has been pushing the bar more, I feel like that it's justifiable or justified. Sorry, with these kind of arguments that he's making. Yeah, of course, it could be that he's just trying to tell people, well, don't blame me in case your movie experience sucked, because it wasn't our fault. That's the case. Well, then he just better make sure that movie is good. But
all right, well, we got a lot of this topic, so I'm gonna go ahead and move us away from it and just now move on to the final segment of the day. And today I've picked for our movie suggestion topic is bad movies. Basically, we're going to pick bad movies that, majority of people will think are bad, but we enjoy that we'd like to recommend to the audience to give a chance. I think I went last time, so I'll go ahead and let you suggest something.
No, you go first. I'm still trying to decide.
You can just throw anything out there. Okay. Well, I'm going to recommend, and I know this is a movie that people say is horrendously bad, and I don't even disagree that it's bad, but I still feel it's a movie that's bad, but it's still fun to watch somehow, and it's the movie Mario Brothers. Um,
Haven't even heard of it.
the movie is Super Mario Brothers. It's a video game, movie adaptation of the popular video game. You never heard of this?
No.
Wow.
Yeah, I remember now. I remember.
John Leguizamo and that other Italian-looking dude, just fat and portly.
Didn't that come out in like early '90s or something?
Yeah. But I don't know what it is about this movie, but I always enjoyed it. And I actually remember I read this kind of fun article that actually talks about the making of it, and it's all the stuff about how the actors just thought it was like the worst experience ever. John Leguizamo apparently was an alcoholic during most of the movie, and he ended up smashing the other actor's arm in a door because of it or something. And then just production of it. It was kind of amusing. Just hearing about because there's problems from the get-go of directing and writing stuff like that. And this movie, it was thrown together with all these different kind of.
It's called Super Mario Bros.
Yeah, with all these different and filmmakers kind of thrown together the film. It's like I remember there's people from the movie like Road Warrior was involved with this. They had someone from Blade Runner was involved in making it. Some other kind of, I think, post-apocalyptic film. And if you watch it, you actually kind of see like it almost looks like a meld of Road Warrior mixed with Blade Runner, with at least the scenery and stuff like that and the sets that they built. So I don't know. Like I said, it might be a bad film to some people, but I would still recommend to just watch it. I think you still could get like at least a kick out of watching it, even if it's so bad it's funny kind of film. But yeah, that's what I have. Jesus, what would you like to recommend?
Okay, I like to recommend a what's the name? The actor that was in The Matrix. Keanu Reeves movie.
Keanu Reeves.
And this movie came out in 1995, I believe. It got a 14% on Rotten Tomatoes. And it's called Johnny Mnemonic.
Oh, yeah.
Well, apparently a lot of people... No, I guess a lot of people didn't like it. And it didn't quite make the money, its money back. I saw it maybe like 10 years ago, more than that. I was on TV or whatever, late on a Saturday night or something. And Johnny Mnemonic, it's a futuristic story about a guy who I feel like this one kind of resembles the movie. It's a movie coming out called Transcendence. And hold on. And it's a new movie that's coming out, and it's directed by Wally Pfister, who is actually Christopher Nolan's cinematographer. And I'm just saying it because the trailer at least looked similar. But anyway, Johnny Mnemonic is about the story about this guy who, I guess in the future you can download information into people's brains and use them for whatever you want, I guess. So people are now, in a way, computers themselves. And so this guy, they downloaded some information on his brain, and he was supposed to transport it to some people, and then something happened in the way, and then bad guys were looking for it, and they wanted to destroy that information. So it's very weird. It has a lot of people that unfortunately I don't know who they are. I've seen them around like in TV shows and whatnot, but obviously the most well-known person there is Keanu Reeves. This is like, I think it's post-Speed and prior to The Matrix, obviously. But do I agree that it's a bad movie? Yes, very, very much. It's so bad it's good, that kind of movie, But and that's why I like it. I own it. I see it every now and then. Like I like to put it every night, not every night, but like some nights, just so it can help me go to sleep because it's kind of soothing. Um, but yeah, I mean, I really enjoy it, even though I know it's not a good film. There are some scenes that I can honestly skip because I'm like, no, the acting, the acting is that's one of the things that gets you the most. You're just like, seriously, you delivered that line like that. Uh, but I mean, it is what it is, and I think it's a very good bad movie. I recommend it. Have you seen it?
I have, and I actually agree with you. I actually enjoy it, watching it every now myself. So yeah.
Yeah.
So that will be all for us today. Thanks for tuning in and listening, and hope you tune in for the next episode. Goodbye.
Bye.